Warren Buffett is famous for saying, rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. That philosophy of risk sounds very modern, but the truth is, it echoes a mindset that Jewish communities have practiced for centuries. The Jewish approach to wealth has never been about chasing the highest returns or gambling everything on one opportunity. Instead, it's about carefully balancing risk and reward, protecting the downside, and making decisions that stand the test of time. And that's what we're going to explore today. How the Jewish wealth mindset manages risk, allocates capital, and makes wise investments principles that even Buffett himself would approve of. Stay with me, because I'll show you how these timeless lessons can help you protect your money, grow it steadily, and build wealth that actually lasts. Principle number 1, never put all your eggs in one basket. Most people think that to get rich, you have to bet big. Go all in on one stock, one business idea, or one risky opportunity. It feels exciting, it feels bold, but more often than not, it ends in disaster. The Jewish wealth mindset takes a very different approach. Never put all your eggs in one basket. This principle is ancient. In fact, the Talmud, the Jewish book of wisdom, advises, divide your wealth into 3 parts, one in land, one in business, and one kept in reserve. It's simple but powerful. Land represents stable, tangible assets. Business represents growth and opportunity. Reserve represents liquidity and safety. Together, this formula ensures that no single failure can wipe you out. Think about the world hundreds of years ago. Jewish merchants often traveled across Europe and the Middle East. Every journey carried risk: storms at sea, bandits on the road, sudden wars between kingdoms. If you put all your money into one caravan and it was attacked, your family was ruined. So what did they do? They split their money across different routes, different products, even different partners. One shipment might fail, but the others kept the family business alive. Fast forward to today, and the lesson hasn't changed. Warren Buffett puts it like this: don't test the depth of a river with both feet. In other words, don't expose yourself to total loss. And yet, we see people repeating the same mistake every generation. They put everything into one hot stock, or they sink their life savings into one piece of real estate. Or they depend on one client, one employer, or one skill. The problem? If that single thing collapses, you collapse with it. The Jewish mindset avoids this trap by thinking in layers. For example, a stable income source, like a profession or trade. A growth vehicle, like a business or investments. And a safety reserve: cash or assets that can be liquidated quickly in an emergency. This isn't just about money, it's also about time and skills. A Jewish scholar might study business, law, and languages, so if one door closes, another opens. Diversification protects not only your wealth, but also your options in life. Here's the paradox: chasing maximum reward by going all in often leads to maximum loss. But by limiting risk, by spreading wisely, you actually give yourself the best chance of building long-term wealth. So ask yourself, right now, are you standing on one leg financially? Or do you have 3 solid pillars: assets, growth, and reserves? If not, you're not balancing risk, you're gambling with your future. Principle number 2, always keep a safety net. Here's something most people ignore. Wealth isn't measured by how much you make. It's measured by how much you can survive losing. The Jewish mindset has always emphasized this idea. Never let one setback destroy you. Always keep a safety net. In fact, the Talmud teaches, divide your wealth into 3 parts, and one of those parts must always be held in reserve. Why? Because life is unpredictable. Wars happen. Markets crash. A single deal can collapse overnight, but if you've kept reserves, you live to fight another day. Think of it this way. Imagine two merchants. The first invests every single coin into his next trading voyage. If the ship sinks, his family starves. The second merchant puts half his money into the voyage, but keeps the other half in storage. If disaster strikes, he loses, but he survives. He rebuilds. He tries again. Who do you think is still in business 10 years later? This principle is not just ancient wisdom, it's how smart investors operate today. Warren Buffett keeps tens of billions of dollars in cash on hand. People ask him why when he could be investing it all. His answer: opportunity and safety. That cash is a cushion against crisis, and also dry powder ready to seize good deals when everyone else is broke. In personal finance, this safety net is what we now call an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash or near cash assets. It's boring, it doesn't make headlines, but it prevents you from going bankrupt when life punches you in the face. The Jewish mindset extends this even further. It's not only about money, it's also about community safety nets. Jewish communities historically built lending circles, charities, and support systems so that no single family would be left completely destitute. This collective safety net allowed them to survive persecution, exile, and economic collapse again and again. So how do you apply this today? First, protect your downside before you chase the upside. If you have no emergency fund, you have no business speculating in risky investments. Second, keep a portion of your capital liquid. Don't tie up 100% of your money in illiquid assets like real estate or long-term projects. Third, create systems that back you up. Insurance, savings accounts, and yes, strong relationships with people you can trust. Because here's the truth. Money comes and goes. But if you have a net, you will never hit the ground too hard to recover. The Jewish wealth mindset proves that survival is wealth. If you can survive the storms, you can always rebuild after them. Principle number 3, make decisions based on knowledge, not emotion. One of the most dangerous mistakes people make with money is letting emotion guide their choices. Fear makes them sell too early. Greed makes them buy too late. Excitement blinds them to the risks. The Jewish wealth mindset flips this. Decisions are rooted in knowledge and education, not in feelings. For centuries, Jewish communities have placed education at the center of life. Not just religious education, but also literacy, mathematics, law, and business. Why? Because knowledge is portable. Even when forced to leave their homes, they could take their learning with them. That knowledge became their most valuable asset. And in finance, knowledge is the best defense against emotional mistakes. While others gamble based on rumors or hype, the Jewish mindset teaches, study before you risk, analyze before you act. Think of the modern stock market. Most people buy because they feel good about a company. The logo looks nice, their friends are buying, the price is rising fast, and they don't want to miss out. That's pure emotion. Now compare it to the Jewish approach, which mirrors Warren Buffett's rule. Study the fundamentals, look at the numbers, ask, what is the real value here? Does it produce steady cash flow? Does it have long-term demand? This is why Jewish investors, historically, favored fields like banking, law, and education, because these industries require deep knowledge, careful judgment, and offer stability over time. Here's how you apply this principle today. Before investing in anything, write down the reasons. If the reason is because everyone else is doing it, stop. That's emotion. Base your decision on numbers, income, expenses, risk, and time horizon. If you can't explain the investment in simple math, you don't understand it well enough to risk your money. Never invest in something you don't understand. This is an old Jewish principle, and Buffett echoes it. Never invest in a business you can't explain. The biggest trap is making money decisions in the heat of the moment. So build a system. Set rules before you invest. How much am I willing to lose? What return am I aiming for? What would make me sell? When you decide these things ahead of time, knowledge protects you from emotion. The Jewish wealth mindset is clear. Markets rise and fall, opportunities come and go, but knowledge stays. And knowledge is what keeps you from becoming a slave to fear or greed. Because in the end, every fortune built on emotion eventually crashes, but fortune built on knowledge lasts. Principle number 4, think long-term, not short-term. If there's one principle that ties everything together, it's this: the Jewish wealth mindset is always long-term. Most people are addicted to quick wins. They want fast money, instant success, the next hot trend. They jump in when everyone is hyped, and they panic when things fall. That's why they rarely build lasting wealth. But Jewish wisdom says real wealth is not built in months, it's built in decades. History proves this. Jewish communities have faced exile, persecution, even the destruction of entire economies around them, and yet they survived and rebuilt because their mindset was never short-term. They thought in terms of generations, not quarters. Warren Buffett calls this the power of compounding. He says wealth is the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient, and Jewish families have embodied that patience for centuries. So what does this look like in practice? Instead of chasing the next lottery stock, they invest in businesses with steady, reliable growth. Instead of spending every profit today, they reinvest to secure tomorrow. Instead of teaching their children only how to make money, they teach them how to manage, preserve, and multiply it over a lifetime. This long-term view is why Jewish entrepreneurs have focused on industries like finance, law, medicine, and education, fields that last, fields that compound. Here's the mindset shift you need to apply. Ask yourself, if I repeat this habit every day for 20 years, where will it take me? If the answer is bankruptcy, stress, or instability, stop. If the answer is stability, growth, and freedom, keep going. Building long-term wealth means being willing to look boring in the short term. It means choosing consistent returns over flashy bets. It means valuing survival and patience more than speed. Because the truth is this: anyone can get rich quickly, very few can stay rich. The Jewish wealth mindset teaches us that staying rich is about thinking not just of your next month, but of your children, your grandchildren, and the generations after them. Wealth isn't measured by what you earn in a year. It's measured by what endures for 100 years. Conclusion: the balance of risk and reward. So let's bring it all together. The Jewish wealth mindset shows us that building lasting riches isn't about gambling or chasing every opportunity. It's about balancing risk and reward with discipline and wisdom. First, never put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your risk so no single failure can destroy you. Second, always keep a safety net. Protect yourself before you chase profit. Third, make decisions with knowledge, not emotion. Fear and greed destroy wealth, understanding protects it. And fourth, think long-term, not short-term. Wealth that lasts is measured in decades, not days. Warren Buffett's famous rule, never lose money, isn't just modern investing advice. It's a reflection of principles Jewish communities have lived by for centuries. And if you apply them, you'll see that true wealth doesn't come from luck or chance. It comes from protecting your downside, managing your risks, and letting time work in your favor. So here's my challenge to you. This week, review your finances. Are you too exposed in one area? Diversify. Do you have no safety net? Build one. Are you investing with emotion? Replace it with knowledge. Are you chasing quick wins? Start planning for decades. If you apply even one of these principles, you'll be wealthier not just in money, but in peace of mind. If this video gave you a new way of thinking about money, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe for more. And in the next video, we'll dive into another culture's money mindset that might surprise you even more.